Act 1 of The Perjur'd Husband, or The Adventures of Venus, by Susanna CENTLIVRE. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The Perjur'd Husband, or The Adventures of Venus. A Tragedy. The Prologue.
Such dreadful laws of late 'gainst wit are made. It dares not in the city show its head. No place is safe. Each cuckold turns informer. If we make merry, it must be in a corner. And here's tonight what doubly makes it sweet, a private table and a lady's treat. At her reflections none can be uneasy, when the kind creature does her best to please ye. Humbly she sues, and 'tis not for your glory to insult a lady when she falls before ye. But since no human wit can stand the test, with Gourmand and the champion of the West, she'll fill the lists, and then you cannot slight her. With honor safe, for she's a fair inviter. Expects no favor, but at honor's call defies the boldest Briton of you all. Whatever's her fate, she's sure to gain the field, for women always conquer when they yield.
Dramatis Personae.
Count Bassino, a Savoyard, married to Placentia and in love with Aurelia. Read by Mike Manolakes.
Armando, Bassino's friend. Read by Alan Mapstone.
Alonzo, a Venetian Gentleman, betrothed to Aurelia. Read by Wayne Cook.
Pizalto, a Noble Venetian. Read by Greg Giordano.
Ludovico, a Frenchman. Read by Rémi.
Placentia, Bassino's wife. Read by WendyKatzHiller.
Aurelia, a young Venetian lady, betrothed to Alonzo, but in love with Bassino. Read by Jenn BrodaFlorella.
Florella, her woman. Read by
AvailleLady Pizalta, Pizalto's wife. Read by Sonia.
Lucy, her woman. Read by Annie Mars.
Montaigne, servant to Ludovico. Page, servant, and singer. Read by Todd.
Stage Directions. Read by The Intern 356. Scene: Venice, in Carnival time. The Perjur'd Husband. Act 1, Scene 1. The curtains fly up and discover a mask in Pizalto's house. Pizalto, Lady Pizalta, Lucy, Ludovico talking to Lady Pizalta, Bassino and Aurelia talking together, Florella and other maskers. A Spanish entry. While the dance is performing, enter Armando and gives Bassino 2 letters, which he opens and reads. Lady Pizalta and Lucy advance to the front of the stage.
Oh, Lucy, I'm undone. That stranger there has charmed my heart. I feel the power of conquering love. Quickly tell me, what shall I do to ease this racking passion?
Nay, madam, I fancy your passion has little occasion for the lenitives. It blazes so violently at first, 'tis like to be soon extinguished.
Dear Lucy, don't trifle with me, but contrive, imagine, do anything to bless thy love-sick mistress with the sight of that dear man. And, as an earnest of further rewards, here, take this.
Gives her a ring.
Madam, I receive your commands with much joy.
Aside.
But your present with much more. I'll try what this projecting brain can do, and if you step into the next room, I'll soon give you an account of my proceedings.
Exit Lady Pizalta.
Ye gods, what have I done, that you pursue me thus? Why did you e'er decree that I should wed a wife I now must hate? Why did I see the bright Aurelia? Why am I thus torn twixt love and duty? Oh, what pangs, what torments my soul endures! Oh, my Aurelia!
Exeunt omnes, but Lucy and Ludovico. Lucy, pulling Ludovico by the sleeve.
Sir, one word with you.
Your business?
May one ask you a civil question and be resolved?
A civil question, sayest thou? What's it, prithee? A night's lodging? If so, pull off thy mask, and I'll resolve thee instantly. But I never strike bargains in the dark.
I don't know, sir, but it may tend to that, by way of proxy, at the long run. But at present my commission reaches no further than to know your lodgings. If anything comes on't, I fancy 'twill not displease you.
Ludovico, aside.
This is but a pettifogger in intrigues, I find. Egad, I'm like to be pretty well employed during the carnival. Well, considering I'm a stranger here, this hit may be a lucky one, and the lady handsome. Egad, I'll fancy her so, at least. What but for the pleasure of expectation?
What are you studying, sir? Are you so long resolving whether you shall accept the lady's favour or no?
No, faith, child, I'm not over-scrupulous in those matters. Let her be but woman, and we shan't disagree. And so thou mayst tell her. There's a direction for thee.
Tears the superscription of a letter and gives it her. Exit Ludovico.
Frank and easy, à la mode de Paris. Well, these indifferent sparks charm more than all your cringing fops. Now for my business. Let me see. I'll to my lady. She'll write. I'll carry the letter, and the devil will turn saint, if I don't bring 'em together and merit a further recompense. By coupling many have their fortunes made. I only want preferment, not my trade.
Exit Lucy. Scene 2. The scene changes to Bassino's lodgings, and discovers the Count in his nightgown, a table with lights, and letters lying on the table.
All things lie hushed in peaceful silence here, all but Bassino's mind. Oh, happy he who lives secure and free from love's alarms, but happier far who, master of himself, ranges abroad without that clog, a wife. Oh, rigorous laws imposed on free-born man. On man, by bounteous nature first designed, the sovereign lord of all the universe. Why must his generous passion thus be starved and be confined to one alone? The woman, whom heaven sent as a relief to ease the burden of a tedious life, and be enjoyed when summoned by desire, is now become the tyrant of our fates.
Takes up a letter.
But hold, Bassino, whether does thy passion hurry thy wandering reason, let this letter recall the fugitive, and fix thy senses on duteous love. A wife so young, so fair, so excellent, whose charms not 3 months since did fire thy soul. A wife who dotes on thee, a wife to whom thou sworest eternal love. By heaven I swear again I will be true. This thought again restores my peace of mind. No, charming wife, no, dear Placentia, no, thou shalt not beg in vain. I will return.
Kisses the letter.
But who comes here? My friend Armando?
Enter Armando.
Dear friend, I heard the conflict of your passion, and my joys are now complete, since virtue gains the day.
Yes, dear Armando, the conflict is o'er, and I'm resolved to fly to my Placentia.
Cherish that thought. By heaven, your resolution transports my soul with joy. A kind, a virtuous wife waits your embraces. A wife who, like a turtle, mourns the absence of her dear mate. Haste then, my friend, to drive that cloud of sorrow which o'ercasts her mind, and, like the sun, dispel her gloomy thoughts.
Thanks for your counsel. You, like a god, support my feeble virtue. This very morning I'll prepare for Turin, where time and absence will deface the image of that bewitching beauty, which now haunts my tortured mind. Yet, first I'll take my leave of this fair charmer, and heaven grant that I may see her unconcerned.
My lord, what do you mean? Have you well weighed the danger of this visit?
What danger can there be?
Danger, my lord. Consider well how feeble our reason is against the power of beauty.
My resolution's firm. No charm can shake it.
If not her beauty, fear her siren tongue. Fear her endearing prayers, her fond reproaches, her tender sighs, her vows, her trickling tears. Nay, if all this prove vain, fear her despair, a woman, an abandoned woman's rage.
Were there more dangers, yet I'll stay in 'em all. My honor bids me pay this parting visit. My heart shall have no share in what I'll speak. Trust me this once, and be yourself a witness. Bassino can control unlawful love.
My lord, 'tis with regret I see you go. May heaven assist you in this dangerous strife.
Scene 3. Aurelia's chamber. She in an undress with Florella.
No more of that. Cease thy ungrateful suit. Alonzo is a man I cannot love. I own he's witty, generous, and brave, has all the charms that nature can bestow to fire a woman's heart. Yet I'm insensible. His very sight chills all my trembling spirits. Therefore, name him no more. I charge thee, do not.
Madam, I've done. Yet shall I be permitted to ask a question? Are you then resolved ne'er to admit a passion in your breast?
O dear Florella, press not a confession, which not too well my eyes themselves disclose. Alas, I love to such excess, that though I know I'm loved again, my mind is still perplexed with doubts and jealous fears.
You love and are beloved? Then sure you reach the height of human bliss, and bounteous heaven can scarce give more. But who's the happy man? Is it not Count Bassino?
Oh, charming name, there's music in that sound. Yes, Count Bassino is the man I love. Canst thou now blame my coldness to Alonzo?
Forgive me, madam, if I dare presume to speak my sentiments. I must confess Bassino is a man of excellent virtue. His education at the court of Savoy has still refined what he received from nature. His person, too, is charming. And what most women court, he has a title. But then, consider, you are unacquainted with his estate, and though his equipage denotes an ample fortune, yet we see many a stranger here during the carnival, who makes a figure here by industrious gaming. As for Alonzo, he was born at Venice, of noble parents, his estate a large one. Even from his youth you had his amorous wishes, and as he grew in years his love increased. You loved him too, nay, which is more, your father approved your mutual loves, and at his death bequeathed you to Alonzo.
Oh, my Florella, thou hast roused a thought which will forever break Aurelia's rest. I know my father's tenderness to me made him confirm Alonzo's suit, for then I loved Alonzo. But were my gentle father still alive, I'm sure he would not cross my inclinations. But oh, Name not my father. I cannot bear the sad remembrance of so great a loss.
Weeps.
But fear you not to offend his peaceful ghost by breaking with the man he destined yours?
'Tis not my fault, and just heaven must forgive what heaven decrees. Yes, 'tis my cruel stars that made my heart inconstant to Alonzo. 'Tis with regret I break my plighted faith. In vain I strive to check my newborn love. I cannot live without Bassino.
Madam, I wish your passion ne'er prove fatal, but much I fear this inauspicious match.
Enter Bassino, Armando.
May heaven avert the unlucky combination of our presaging thoughts. For know, I tremble too. But here's the man that will dispel my fears.
Armando to Bassino.
My lord, remember to keep your resolution.
Bassino to Armando.
Yes, I will keep it.
To Aurelia.
Madam, you will pardon a morning visit when you know what reasons pressed me to fix it on this early hour. By letters from the court I was last night commanded to return with speed to Turin, and thence led out for France, to represent my sovereign liege in solemn embassy. This day I must prepare to take my journey, though 'tis with killing grief I leave my dear, my fair Aurelia.
To Armando.
Now, my Armando.
My lord, 'tis well, but still be on your guard. The dreadful shock comes on.
This day be gone. What means, my lord? O heaven, my foreboding fears are come to pass. I see a cloud of woes just ready to overwhelm me. Is it possible? How can that form divine harbor such treachery? Is then Bassino false? Say, perjured man, how often did you swear this happy day should make you mine forever? How can you forget your solemn vows? Why have I met with this inhuman usage?
Madam, my prince's orders are absolute. My honor is concerned.
Must a vain title be preferred to love? But no, you never loved. 'Twas base deceit. Cursed dissembling men! Their flattering tongues can feign a passion that will look like love, till by degrees they get us in their power. Then, with bold impudence, they draw the visor, and shew the cheat that mocked our credulous hopes. Faithless Bassino, how oft you swore your love could never expire, how oft you swore one smile of mine had charms even above the glories of a crown. Those were the oaths I fondly did believe. Those words conveyed a poison to my heart, and even now I feel its mighty force. My head turns giddy, and my trembling knees betray their sinking burden. Alas, I faint, I die.
She faints. Bassino runs and embraces her.
Oh, stay, my love, my life, my soul, my all. The conflict's past, and I am thine again. But she is breathless. O ye rigorous gods, give back her soul, or let my own be plunged to dark Elysium. Oh, my dear Aurelia.
Hugs her.
Is this your resolution? By heaven, I blush to call you friend. Your wife, my lord, remember your wife.
Curse on that name. Urge me no more to follow your chimeras, lest you oblige me to break off that friendship you blush to own. Oh, my Aurelia.
Armando aside.
How sweet is treacherous vice! How eagerly fond man pursues his ruin! All arguments were vain. Yet still one way remains, which cannot fail to stop the progress of this impious love. His wife, by my direction, comes to Venice. Her sight will soon awake his slumbering virtue. At least it will retrieve Aurelia's senses.
Exit Armando. Aurelia, recovering.
Where am I? Where's my lord, my false Bassino?
Here, here, my soul, my charming dear.
Aurelia thrusts him off.
Hold off! Approach me not! Urge not my rage, or with this dagger I'll revenge my wrongs on thy perfidious heart. But oh, his heart's too hard, even for tempered steel. Therefore, I'll sheath it here.
Offers at her breast. Bassino snatches the dagger and throws himself at her feet in a distracted manner.
Oh, hold! Forbid it, gods! I am the cursed cause, and I must die. Oh, who could bear my load of mortal woe? Ye heavenly powers, bestow the stroke of grace, and rack Bassino. Let your vengeful thunder now crush my guilty head. Or thou, O parent earth, open thy bosom, and conceal my crime.
Tears the ground.
Is he then mine again?
Falls down.
Look up, my lord, my love, my life, my dear Bassino, 'tis Aurelia calls. Let me forever fold thee in my arms, and beg thou'lt never speak of parting more.
Embraces him. Both rise and embrace in an ecstasy.
Oh, never, never! The poles shall meet, the sun and moon invert their wonted motion ere I part from thee. I fondly tried how much I was beloved, and since you're true, my bliss is now complete.
Was it but a trial? Then my griefs are vanished, and I am lost in joy. Bassino's mine.
They embrace again.
Thine, thine forever, and this happy day shall end Aurelia's fears.
Aside.
Ha! This day, said I, but where's Placentia then? My wife Placentia. Little does she think what baseness I intend. Oh, racking thought! But 'tis resolved, I'll change nor think no more. I'll try to plunge and reach the blissful shore, and if I sink, yet still this hope's my friend. I'll snatch my treasure ere my course I end.
My lord, what makes you pause?
The ravishing thoughts of mighty joys to come kept me in ecstasy and made me dumb. When on thy snowy breast dissolved I lie, what monarch can there be more blessed than I?
Bassino leads her off with a languishing air. Enter Alonzo.
Sure, if my eyes deceive me not, I saw Aurelia with the Count just parting hence. Dissolved in love and languishing they seemed. A damnation, I cannot bear the thought. I'll after 'em.
Alonzo going. Enter Florella. Florella aside.
Ha! Alonzo here. I must prevent a discovery.
Florella here. She comes opportunely. She may inform me of what I yet but fear. Good morrow, Florella. How fares my love, my dear Aurelia?
Signor, good morrow. You are an early visitant.
Not for a man in love. But answer me, how does Aurelia?
Well in health. Only she's now and then in a little fit of melancholy, such as usually proceeds from timorous doubts about that dreadful state of matrimony. You know the time draws nigh that gives her to your arms?
By heaven, 'tis an age. There is 6 days yet to come.
Florella aside.
An age indeed, if he knew all.
But haste, Florella, lead me to my dear. She only can contract the tedious age of lingering pain, and soothe it with her smiles. Say, is she alone?
Yes. No!
Aside.
Oh, heaven, what shall I say? She's a...
Ah, what means this faltering answer? All's not right, and my suspicions true.
Signor, my lady is not dressed, and I shall displease her in admitting even you without her leave.
Ah, not dressed. Take heed you mock me not. nor think to blind me with your feigned excuse. For in your guilty face I read the truth. Come, tell me, who's the with her? It's not Bassino?
Florella, aside.
Oh, heaven, what shall I say?
Nay, no study. Lying will not do. I saw them apart from hence. Just now I saw them. Harkee, sweet mistress, how long have you practiced this subtle trade? I find you're much improved. Hell and damnation, quickly. Tell me, what did Bassino give for his admittance? I'll double the reward. But she's not dressed for me. Oh, damn sex.
Signor, what do you mean?
To see Aurelia, see her instantly. Nay, by heaven, I will. All opposition's vain. For by the avenging power of love, I swear, though in the Bassino's arms I'll drag her thence, only to cast her from my sight forever. Nor shall he live to triumph in my shame. What though the marriage rites be not performed, yet I may call her wife. Her father gave her to me, and her own vows have fixed my heart in hers. Must then Alonzo be denied admittance, under the poor pretense that she's not dressed, whilst base Bassino lies dissolved in pleasures on her perfidious breast? Oh, killing thought! She makes my name of husband infamous, even before the priest has joined our hands. I mean, and if the affront I tamely bear, may heaven deny me my latest prayer.
Exeunt. Scene 4. Ludovico's lodgings. Ludovico solus.
Who waits?
Enter Mountain.
Did you call, sir?
Mountain, run to Signora Ranquilla and tell her I have done with her forever if she does not send this evening the 100 ducats she promised to lend me. And harkee, as you come back, acquaint Signora Cornara I shall be busy tomorrow, and desire she will put off her visit till another day.
Knocking at the door.
Sir, there's somebody at the door.
See who 'tis.
Sir, a gentlewoman desires to speak with you.
A gentlewoman! Admit her. Well, 'tis a great fatigue to oblige the whole sex.
Enter Lucy.
Oh, what news from your lady?
This will inform you, sir.
Gives him a letter.
A letter.
Reads.
Though it may seem improper for one of my sex to make the first step in an amour, yet you ought to consider that the rigorous confinement we are under all the year round may in some measure excuse the liberties we take during the carnival. If you have the courage to meet me, I shall be at 4 in the afternoon in the Piazza d'Espagna, invisible to all but yourself. Well, I believe all women in Venice are wild for gallants.
Sir, what answer shall I return to my lady?
Ludovico, aside.
Egad, I am in doubt whether I shall throw my time away on this intrigue or no. Harkee, child, step into the next chamber, and I'll answer your message instantly.
Exit Lucy.
Let me see.
Reads in his table book.
Monday at 2 in the afternoon I am to meet Signora Bellezza at her nurse's. She's a pretty rogue, and so I'll go. At 3 of the clock, Signora Dorinda, the senator's wife, at the Indian house. Pshaw, she's an old acquaintance. I shan't go. At half an hour past 3, the Countess Wrinkle, who presented me with a gold-hilted sword. Silly fool! Does she think I'll bestow one of my visits on an old shriveled piece of antiquity for a trifling present, not worth above 80 pistoles? At 4:15, my seamstress Dorothy Steenkirk, who supplies me with linen. Oh, this visit may be put off for a new intrigue. And so I'll acquaint the messenger.
Exit Ludovico. The end of the first act. Act 2 of The Perjur'd Husband, or The Adventures of Venus, by Susanna CENTLIVRE. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 2, Scene 1. A chamber in Signor Pizalto's house. Enter Lady Pizalta, Lucy.
Did you deliver my letter to Ludovico, Lucy?
Madam, I did. I found him in his study, reading the Lover's Watch, which he swears does not at all agree with his constitution. He hates injunctions of love, like those of penance. For the one, he says, is no more pleasurable to the body than the other beneficial to the soul.
What a fine gallant I'm like to have with these principles. Well, what did he say to a summons from a woman of my quality? Did it not make him wish the time of assignation were sooner than the appointment in the letter?
He first hummed over your billet, and pausing a while, he desired me to stay for an answer in the next room. Then coming to me, he asked me what countrywoman you were, for, said he, if she should prove an old acquaintance, I would use her damnably. But when I had assured him you never saw the outside of these walls, he began to have that desire which all men have to a new face.
Very well. And what then?
He straight inquired whether you were black, brown, fair, old, young, maid, wife, or widow. I told him you were as wretched a wife to an old, impotent, rich, covetous, noble Venetian, beautiful, young, generous, and of a fair complexion. He hugged me at these words, seemed transported with the news, and swore that in intrigues a wife was most suitable to his temper. For, said he, there's neither children to father nor honour to repair, and where his pocket and liberty are safe, he is contented to venture his body and soul.
Excellent maxims.
In short, madam, he says he has had several bills of this nature drawn upon him of late, and how much his stock may be exhausted he knows not. But, however, he'll meet you, and if he cannot answer your expectation, he'll give you earnest.
You talk merrily, girl. I hope you did not tell my name. I should be loath to trust a man of his character with my reputation at first dash.
No, madam, I only told your quality.
That's well. Oh, reputation! What several sorts of slavery do we undergo to preserve thee? For to be thought virtuous, we are forced to be constantly railing against vice, though our tongues and maxims seldom agree.
Alas, madam, that pretence is grown too common, for the men now take it for granted that a lady is very near surrendering when once she holds out that flag of defiance.
Well, men use us very barbarously. They will neither suffer us to be honest, nor allow us to be thought so. Here, take this key, and secure everything that concerns my reputation. And if my husband wakes ere I come back, you may easily find some excuse to prevent his inquiries, for the carnival allows us more liberty than at other times we dare pretend to. I know thy honesty, and will rely upon it.
Yes, indeed, madam, I am honest at the bottom.
Well, I'll be gone. 'Tis about the hour.
Exit Lady Pizalta.
Good luck attend you, madam.
Enter Pizalto.
Oh, heavens, here's my lord. Madam, madam, madam. Oh, Lord, what shall I say now she's gone?
Hist, hist, Lucy. Don't call your lady, for I have a word or two to say to thee in private, and have waited for this lucky opportunity a great while.
Lucy, aside.
Now Venus be praised. I hope he has found some business of his own that may give my lady an opportunity to mind hers.
Well, Lucy, well, canst thou guess my business now?
No, indeed, sir.
Aside.
But I'm certain an old man's business can't be great.
Pizalto gives her a looking-glass.
Here, child, this will tell thee. Look in it, I say. Ah, thou hast a pretty pouting lip, a delicate roguish eye, such an ogle, such a cast. Ah, rogue, faith, thou art very pretty, and in short, if any one rival thy lady, it will be thee, Lucy. Egad, I have fire in me yet.
Lucy, aside.
Oh, my conscience, and little too, I believe, yet I wish he has enough to serve my ends. I'll make my fortune. Lord, sir, what do you mean, I rival my lady? Heaven forbid, I would not injure so good a woman for the world.
Pshaw, pshaw, where's the injury done to her, child? Adad, I'll give thee 100 crowns.
No injury, say you, my lord? Why, I wonder you should be so jealous of my lady, and preach such religious maxims to her, when your own principles are quite opposite.
Look ye, child, a man may do that which would look abominable in a wife. A woman's reputation is a nice thing.
'Tis so, and therefore 'tis but reason I should take care of mine.
Prithee, no more of that. Thy reputation shall be safe. I'll marry thee to my gentleman.
Gentleman? Valet? For? And what good will 100 crowns do me when my virginity is gone? Indeed, if you love me as much as you say, you would make my fortune. For I should love extremely to be a lady. I cannot tell you how far you might persuade me. I know my reputation would be safe in your hands.
Make thy fortune. Why, I've known some of our nobles marry a wife with less than 100 crowns. But adad, thou art a charming girl, and therefore I'll make it 100 pistoles. What sayest thou now, Lucy? Ah, adad, I must bust thee.
Kisses her.
Ah, rogue, methinks I'm a young, lusty, vigorous fellow again. Thou shalt find I am, girl.
Lucy, aside.
I believe I shall fail you, old gentleman. Well, my lord, make it up 1,000 pistoles, and I am yours, else I'll die a maid. I'm resolved.
1,000 pistoles? Why, thou art the most unconscionable wench in Italy. Why, 'tis a price for a duchess in some countries. Come, come, prithee, be reasonable, Lucy.
Reasonable? Why, you don't ask a reasonable thing. Look you know my mind. I'll not bate a penny. I'll warrant my lady will give me 200 at least for my discovery.
Going. Pizalto, aside.
Odds life, she won't tell my wife, sure. I'm ruined if she does. I'd rather give her 2,000. Hold, Lucy, sweet Lucy, prithee come back. Faith, thou art so charming, I can deny thee nothing. Come, it shall be what thou wilt. Come now, rogue, let's retire to thy chamber.
Nay, nay, no entering the premises till you have paid the purchase.
Adad, thou art a wag. Come on, then, and I'll discharge the debt. Thou art a cunning gypsy.
Exit Pizalto.
You shall have reason to say so ere I have done with you, old gentleman, for I am resolved to shew you a trick and preserve my virtue. For did base men within my power fall, to venge my injured sex, I'd jilt 'em all, and would but woman follow my advice, they should be glad at last to pay our price.
Exit Lucy. Scene 2. The Piazza di Espagna in Venice. Enter Lady Pizalta sola.
Not come yet? Ungrateful man! Must a woman of my quality wait? How have we lost our power since the creation, when the whole world had but one single lord, whom every creature readily obeyed, yet he, that mighty he, caught with a smile, flew to the embraces of the tempting fair. But now each puny sinner dares to cross a woman's inclinations.
Enter Ludovico.
Oh, are you come, signor? I suppose you have some other assignation that made you miss my hour? Pursue it, pray. I'll not interrupt you. Your servant.
Going. Aside.
I hope he'll not take me at my word.
Nay, nay, signora. Why this passion?
Stops her.
You sent me a challenge, and I, like a man of courage, am come to answer it. Pray, don't let a quarter of an hour break squares. I own it was a fault to make a lady wait. But friends, madam, friends and good wine are the devil. Come, I'll make you amends.
Friends and good wine? I suppose those friends were female ones.
No, faith, you shall judge of that. But suppose they were, why should you be angry that I did not fly with a desired haste, as long as I am come time enough to give you satisfaction? Besides, I han't seen your face yet, and for aught I know, he mayn't reward my compliment in coming now. Prithee, child, unmask, and then I'll tell thee more of my mind.
Lady Pizalta, aside.
The devil take this fellow, and yet methinks I love him for his indifferency. You talk as if you were unskilled in the art of love. Don't you know that expectation feeds more than 20 tasted pleasures?
Some sort of fops it may, but I'm none of those. I never give my opinion of a dish till I've tasted. Neither do I care to dine often on one sort of meat without changing the sauce. But when that cloud's withdrawn, how long I shall keep my resolution, I know not.
Say you so? Why, then the only way to preserve your appetite is to feed you slenderly, or only let you see the food, but not to taste.
Faith, madam, I'm no chameleon, but flesh and blood. Therefore, these prescriptions are of no use. One sight of that dear charming face of yours would be more obliging to your humble servant.
Lady Pizalta unmasks.
Well, sir, what think you? Is there anything in this face worth your regard?
Ah, by heaven, an angel! Oh, madam, now blame yourself for my neglect, for had you sent the picture of her, in whom all those beauties centre, I had in this place waited the coming of my goddess, or rather flown on the wings of eagle love, to meet my fair, though in the arms of 10,000 dangers. Say, my charming angel, do you forgive me? But why do I ask? Your eyes assure me you do. At least I'll force a pardon from these dear, soft, ruby lips.
Kisses her in ecstasy.
Hold, being so lavish, a sparing gamester is the likeliest to keep in stock, whilst a profuse hand at one cast throws all he has away.
To fear that were to doubt your charms, in which a lover is sure to find constant supplies. But we lose time. Let's retire to my lodgings, where I'll give thee the best proofs of my love I can.
Lady Pizalta aside.
Well, he's a charming fellow. Oh, how happy are wives in France and England, where such as he swarm!
Come, madam, come. Why, what do you mean by this delay? Consider I'm a man, a mortal wishing amorous man.
And consider I'm a woman.
Ludovico aside.
Aye, that I know. At least I hope to find you such, or I would not be in such haste.
And I have a reputation to preserve.
Ludovico Aside.
Oh Lord, what a damn turn's here. Reputation, say you? Egad, I find all women make pretence to that mysterious word. What? Are you not married, madam?
Yes. What then?
Why then you have a reputation to preserve, that's all.
All, sir, yes, and all in all to me. Do you consider what country you're in, sir?
Yes, faith, madam, and what constitution I am of too. I know murder is as venial a sin here as adultery is in some countries, and I am too apprehensive on my mortal part not to avoid danger. Therefore, madam, you have an infallible security. If I should betray you, I bring myself into jeopardy, and of all pleasures, self-preservation is the dearest.
A very open speaker, I vow.
Aye, madam, that's best. Hang your creeping, cringing, whining, sighing, dying, lying lovers. Phew! Their flames are not more durable than mine, though they make more noise in the blaze. Hang the whining way of wooing, loving was designed a sport.
Lady Pizalta, aside.
The deuce take me if this fellow has not charmed me strangely. Well, the carnival is almost over, and then I must be shut up like a nun again. Hey, oh, this time will be so short.
Let's make the better use on it then, my dear. We will consider when we have nothing else to do, but at present there's a matter of the greatest moment which I must impart to you. Therefore, come, dear rogue, come.
Lady Pizalta, looking on her watch.
Oh, hold. I have outstayed my time and must return home instantly to prevent discoveries.
Faith, madam, this is not fair. To raise a man's expectation and then disappoint him? Would you be served so yourself now?
I'll endeavour to disengage myself from my jealous husband and contrive another meeting.
But will you be sure to meet me again?
I'll give you my hand as a pledge.
Ludovico kisses it.
And I this kiss in return. Adieu, my charmer.
Signor, farewell.
Exeunt severally. Enter Bassino, Alonzo.
Well, sir, your business?
It is to tell you, you are a villain.
Ha!
And that, as such, I ought to have treated you before the face of false Aurelia. But I scorn to follow the barbarous custom of my native country. I seek with honour to revenge my wrongs. Therefore, sir, draw.
This action speaks you noble, be likewise just, and let me know the cause that moves your anger. By heaven, I'd rather call you still my friend than be your enemy. Yet, if I wronged you, I'll give you satisfaction.
Trifler away. Too well thou knowest the cause, and now wouldst soothe my wrongs with flattery. But my resolve is fixed as heaven decrees, and one of us must fall. Let the survivor dispose of that base, false, perjured Aurelia, as both his love and honour shall direct. If my propitious stars defend my life, you shall not die alone. The adulterous fair shall bear you company. And now draw.
Oh, hold. 1 moment hold. I must unfold this riddle. Adulteress fair, say you?
Yes, she's my wife.
Huh.
Aside.
Your wife? Sure there's a curse entailed upon that name. What, your real wife?
If the command of an expiring father and her own vows can make her mine, she's so. Indeed, the married rites are yet to come, which slyly she delayed these 2 months past, on slight pretence of finishing the time of her mourning for her father. But 'tis plain, I was a property at your base love, and only designed to fill up your place, while surfeited you should return to Turin, El Fioris, draw, or in my just revenge I'll pin you to the earth.
Bassino, aside.
Oh, woman, woman. Yes, I will draw. But ere the final stroke is past recall, I swear Aurelia's virtue is clear and spotless like Diana's self. Nor was I prompted on this early visit, but with design to take my last farewell, having last night received my prince's orders to haste to Turin. Therefore, if I fall, I hope she'll meet with mercy. Now come on.
Hold, my lord. Oh, could I agree to this, I would ask pardon and entreat your friendship.
'Tis true, upon my honor. But if you doubt my words, I'm ready, though I have reason to decline this combat, at least at present.
Aside.
Oh, Placentia, oh, my Placentia, why should I abuse thee?
My lord, you seem disturbed.
Oh, Alonzo! Should I acquaint you with my wretched fate, you'd find that life itself is grown a burden I cannot bear, since I can ne'er be happy. But 'tis a story that must ne'er be told. Let it suffice to settle your repose, that Turin holds the cause of my misfortunes.
Alonzo, aside.
Then I am happy. My lord, I wish 'twere in my power to serve you. I do it as a friend.
Generous sir, I thank you. As far as I am capable, I am Alonzo's.
Exit Alonzo.
Oh, force of treacherous love! To gain my end, I wrong a wife, a mistress, and a friend.
Exit Bassino. The end of the second act. Act 3 of The Perjur'd Husband, or The Adventures of Venus, by Susanna CENTLIVRE. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information, or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 3, Scene 1. Aurelia's Lodgings. Enter Aurelia, Florella.
Oh, how I tremble for my dear Bassino. Haste, fly, Florella, bring me news he lives, or else expect to see thy mistress die.
Madam, be patient. Consult your reputation and consider that the least noise you make on this occasion reflects upon your virtue.
Away, away! Talk not of reputation. When love's in the other scale, but what can shock my reputation? Heaven's my witness, I ne'er lodged a thought for Count Bassino that could wrong my virtue. Perhaps the gods pursue me with their hatred, because I break my promise to Alonzo. But then, why did they not secure me his? Why must weak mortals be exposed to passions which are not in our power to subdue, and yet account for what they prompt us to? But I will think no more. Almighty love, now hear my last resolve. If angry heaven refuse to guard my dear Bassino's life, Aurelia too shall fall, and leave his murderer accursed forever.
Enter Alonzo.
Oh, heaven, where will this end?
Aurelia, aside.
Ha! The gods have sent him to decide my fate. How now? How dare you meet my angry view? Or think I'll ever forgive the base affront this very day you offered to my fame?
Just that heaven refuses not a penitent. Therefore I cannot think that the fair Aurelia, whose charms are all divine, should fail in goodness. Oh, let my love atone for my rash deed. The Count and I are friends. Why should Aurelia be more severe?
He lives! Blessed news! Then do rash actions speak your love to me? Must I in public bear with your insults before I'm yours? What must I then expect when the strict ties of marriage shall confirm your jealous passions? No, you have taught me to avoid the shelf I was just running on. Know, base Alonzo, that from this moment I resume my freedom. I disengage you from your former vows, and will henceforth be mistress of myself.
Alonzo, aside.
Ah, this sudden coldness has another spring into my rash carriage. Oh, my jealous fears! But I am resolved to trace her winding thoughts, and fetch the secret forth. Madam, I hope you do but try my love. I cannot think Aurelia would be false. Besides, you can't recall what's registered in heaven.
Then stay till we come here. There you'll have witness.
A witness? Oh, a faithless, perjured woman! Canst thou think upon thyself, and bid me call my witness? Yes, you are mine. By all the gods you are. And there shall be a power on this side of heaven to stop my bliss? No. By my love, I swear. I now can guess of your perfidious meaning. And though that cowardly villain slyly thought to blind me with a tale his guilt had framed, this plain he is your minion, yet wants courage to own his treachery.
Detracting, slanderous villain, how dare you treat me thus? Oh, for the look of a fierce basilisk to punish this audacious insolence.
Marry thee? No, by heavens, I'd rather be racked to death. And for thy vile injustice, none shall enjoy thee while this sword is mine.
Lays hold on his sword.
Nor shall your lover escape to serve your lust till he has forced the passage through this breast.
Points to his breast. Aurelia, aside.
Oh, my Bassino. Oh, cruel man, are you not then contented to wreak your spite on poor Aurelia? Why must your rage involve the innocent? Oh, let me fall your passion's sacrifice. Let my blood wash the stain you fix on me, but do not blast your name with base revenge.
By heaven, she dotes on him, oh, cunning woman. But as a pretense won't serve to save his life. I'll not be caught again. No, siren, no. Bassino dies. Nor will I leave to fortune the vengeful stroke, but take a safer way.
Aurelia kneels, aside.
O heaven! What words shall I invent to soothe his rage, and save my dear Bassino? Oh, Alonzo, my once loved dear, will you not hear me speak? Oh, how I conjure you by our blighted loves, whose purity outshone the stars above. Hear me this time, then use me as you please.
Oh, woman.
If ever Aurelia, so much as in her thoughts did wrong Alonzo, may sudden death pursue her perjured steps.
Aside.
Heaven forgive the perjury, since I've no other way to save Bassino's life.
Aurelia, rise.
Raising her.
Oh, could I credit this, how happy were Alonzo. But something tells me that thou art forsworn, and yet thou seemest as fair as truth itself. How is it possible that the guilt can look with so divine a face?
Oh, kill me instantly! Kill me! I beg you, kill me! Let me not linger out in age and pain. For such is every moment of your anger. I cannot bear to live in your displeasure.
By heaven, she's true. Hence frivolous fears begun. She's only mine. Come to my breast, my bright Aurelia, come.
Embraces her.
To that soft shrine that holds that sacred image, which triumphs over my soul and grasps it all. I knew my boundless treasure, and the thought of losing thee had raised my love to madness. But now I am calm. No more shall that fierce passion, rude jealousy, disturb my peaceful mind. Do but forgive the faults my rage committed, and you will find our loves will grow the purer, just as the sky looks brighter when the storm is chased away, and Phoebus smiles again.
Since both have been to blame, let it suffice. We both repent, and will offend no more.
Oh, never, never. I'll never suspect you more. Only resolve me this.
What is it?
Why was Bassino admitted to review, and I denied?
He came to take his leave, and it had been rude not to admit a man of his high birth on this occasion, nor was you denied, but through woman's fears of your suspicions, she thought you would misconstrue the Count's visit, as you have really done. I blamed her for it. Indeed, this is the truth. I hope Alonzo believes me now.
Believe thee, yes, as willingly as Martha's estate of endless joy. I will so love my dear, that all mankind shall look with envy on our mutual bliss. I am like a merchant tossed at sea by storms, who has a last course with prayers and toil performs, and the rich cargo safely brought on shore. He hugs it thus, and vows to part no more.
Embraces her. Aurelia, aside.
So in a flowery mead a serpent lurks, and the unwary traveler surprises where he suspects least danger. Cursed cheat! Oh, that I could disclose the fatal story, but it must never out. I beg, Alonzo, you'd leave me for a while, and rest secure you have my love.
Then the bright sun in all its circling turn cannot behold a man more truly happy. What you command I readily obey. Farewell, my dear.
Exit Alonzo.
Where art thou now, Aurelia? How wilt thou scape that dreadful precipice on which thou art hurried on by thy fatal passion? With conscious horror I deceived Alonzo. I hate this base treachery, but 'twas unavoidable. The truth had been more fatal, more fatal. No, for I must never wed my dear Bassino whilst Alonzo lives. Oh, the distracting thought! What shall I do? Why, die, Aurelia. That's the only way. To keep thy vows to both. Ha! Die, said I. But whether then? Who knows what punishment just heaven prepares for guilty souls like mine? But I must think no more, lest I grow mad with thought. If there's a power that guards us here below, oh, look with pitying eyes on poor Aurelia. Appease the tumults of my anxious fear, and load me with no more than I can bear.
Exeunt Aurelia, Florella. Scene 2. Lady Pizalta's lodgings. Enter Lady Pizalta, Lucy.
Well, thou art an admirable girl. What would half the ladies in Venice give for such a servant?
Lucy, aside.
Truly, you have reason to say so. But 'tis not the first intrigue I have managed for you. Oh, dear madam, your ladyship does me too much honour. But how do you like your new servant, madam?
Oh, above all men living, Lucy. He has the most bewitching conversation I ever met with. Say, is there no way to contrive a second meeting? For I'm impatient till I see the dear man again. The end of the carnival draws near, which is indeed the end of life to me. For then must I be cooped up with age, condemned to an eternal coughing, spitting, snoring, and ill nature. Then let me make the best of life, since hell cannot have a worse plague in store than I have felt already.
Indeed, madam, I pity you, and wish 'twere in my power to free you from this old withered log, but though that's impossible, yet I may do you some little services to make life's tedious journey pleasant. Let me see, I have it. What would you say now, madam, if I should contrive a way to have your lover in your own chamber?
Oh, that were worth a king's revenue. Speak quickly, how? How, good Lucy?
Why, thus, he shall put on my clothes, and in my place attend you.
Rare contrivance. But my husband, Lucy?
Oh, let me alone, madam, to manage him. He is defective in sight, you know, and not mistrusting anything. Will not be over-curious. But if he should, I have a way to bring you off. My life on't.
Aside.
This plot may be of use to my design. I'll manage it with care.
Oh, the pleasure of hearing my husband lie coughing and calling me to bed, and my answering him, "I'm coming, dear," and while he imagines me in the next room undressing, I'm happy in the arms of my Ludovico. Certainly there's as much satisfaction in deceiving a dull, jealous husband as in getting a new gallant. Were it not grown so common, each tradesman's wife must have her gallant too, and sometimes makes a journeyman of the apprentice ere his indentures be half out. Oh, 'tis an insufferable fault that quality can have no pleasure above the vulgar, except it be in not paying their debts. Well, dear Lucy, I admire thy contrivance. About it instantly.
Lucy, aside.
About it instantly, is that all? I must have my t'other fee first. I will, madam, and you may expect your lover instantly. But, madam, what's to be done with your brocade nightgown you tore last night? It can ne'er be mended handsomely.
Oh, nothing to be done without a bribe, I find, in love as well as law. Well, Lucy, if you manage this intrigue with care and secrecy, the gown is yours.
Enter Page.
Madam, my lord desires to speak with you.
Madam, I'll go about your business, your ladyship's very humble servant.
Exit Lucy.
Tell him I'm coming.
Exit Page.
Now, by way of mortification, must I go entertain my old jealous husband.
Exit Lady Pizalta. Scene 3. The Piazza. Enter Ludovico singing.
Give me but wine, that liquor of life, and a girl that is wholesome and clean, 2 or 3 friends, but the devil a wife, and I'd not change state with a king.
Enter Lucy.
What singing, signor? Well, you're a pleasant gentleman.
Hi, my little female Mercury, what message bringst thou? Will thy lady bless me with another sight? How? When? Where? I'm all in flame.
Come along with me, sir. I'll help you to an extinguisher presently.
If thou meanest thy lady, with all my heart. But I can tell thee she'll rather prove oil than what you speak of. But say, where am I to see my lovely charmer?
In her chamber.
Good. But how the devil can that be done?
Nay, without the help of a conjurer, I assure you. If you dare take me for your pilot, I'll warrant you success in your voyage. I'll set you safe in the island of love. 'Tis your business to improve the soil.
I warrant thee, girl. Do you but bring me there once, and if I play not my part, may I never more know the pleasure of an intrigue.
Which, if I mistake not, is the straightest curse can fall on you. Well, you must suffer a small metamorphosis. What think you of personating me a little? That is, dressing in my clothes and waiting on your mistress in her bedchamber. Ha!
Egad, I'm afraid I shall make but an awkward chambermaid. I'm undisciplined in dressing a lady's head.
Oh, sir, your commission won't reach so high as the head. I believe my lady will excuse little matters. You can undress, I suppose.
Oh, the best and the quickest of any man in Venice. But a pox on't? Canst find no other way? I like petticoats in their proper places, but I don't care to have my legs in them.
And so you resolve against it?
No, not absolutely resolved, child, but,
But what, sir?
Nothing. I will follow thy directions, whatever comes on it. Now, lead the way, for nothing suits better with my humour than a friend, a bottle, a new mistress, and a convenient place.
Exit Lucy, Ludovico. Scene 4. Pizalto's lodgings. Enter Pizalto with a bond in his hand.
Well, my wife's a fine woman, a very fine woman. But a pox, she's a wife still. And this young jade runs in my head plaguily. Well, here 'tis under my hand, 1,000 pistoles, a great sum for a maidenhead, as maidenheads go nowadays. Ah, had I been young now! A fiddle and a treat had bore the prize away, but when we old fools dote, they make us pay.
Enter Lucy.
Oh, are you come? Here, here, Lucy, here's a fortune for thee, worth 20 maidenheads adod. I have not so much money by me at present, but there's security.
Gives her the bond.
Your lordship's bond is sufficient. Well, but I am satisfied my reputation is safe with your lordship, or twice the sum should not have prevailed. Go to my chamber, my lord. I'll but step and see if my lady wants anything, and I'll be with you instantly.
You won't stay, Lucy? Ah, girl, bust thy lady's chucky now, do now.
Oh, Lord, not here. We shall be discovered.
Well, thou art a cunning sinner. Make haste, Lucy, dost hear?
Exit Pizalto.
You're in mighty haste, old gentleman, but I shall deceive you. My end is gained, I have my fortune made. Man has not me, but I have man betrayed.
The end of the third act. Act 4 of The Perjur'd Husband, or The Adventures of Venus, by Susanna CENTLIVRE. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 4, Scene 1. Armando's lodgings. Enter Armando, Placentia.
O Armando, thou more than friend to the distressed Placentia. Say, how shall I regain my lost Bassino, my false, perfidious husband?
Weeps.
Dear madam, moderate your sorrow. Reserve those tears to move Bassino's heart. Mine is all pity. You may rest secure of all the arguments a friend can use to bring him back to your endearing arms. Virtue's not quite extinguished in his breast, therefore I hope the sight of bright Placentia will rouse his slumbering reason.
Oh, Bassino, Bassino! Oh, wretched woman! Oh, that I had died ere I had known him false. Then were I happy, and though contented with his second choice, he with a pitying sigh, perhaps, had graced my memory. Oh, all ye powers that virtuous love inspire, assist me now. Inform my vocal organs with angel eloquence such as can melt his heart of flint and move his former kindness.
Aside.
But if that fail, I will remove the cause of both our woes. Yes, that happy charmer, that rival of my love, shall surely die.
Doubt not of the success. What heart of steel could e'er resist such beauty dressed in tears?
Enter a servant.
Sir, Count Bassino inquires if you are within.
Oh, heavens, how I tremble!
Lucky opportunity. Show him up. Madam, be pleased to step into that closet, till I can sound the utmost of his thoughts, and show him naked to your secret view. Then, when he's in the height of impious passion, you, like a bolt from heaven, shall rush on him, and strike his folly dumb.
Almighty powers, whose providential care is ever kind to virtuous innocence, oh, help me now in this extremity.
Exit Placentia. Enter Bassino.
How does my friend Armando?
My lord, Armando's well, and wishes you were so.
Dost thou discover aught that gives thee cause to doubt I am not well? Indeed, I think I am in perfect health.
My lord, I should be glad to find that fever of your mind abated in which I left you last.
Bassino, aside.
I must dissemble now, else I'll ne'er gain my ends. My dear Armando, that fever thou speak'st of is now succeeded by a cold ague fit. The bare remembrance of my unlawful passion shakes my soul.
Such sudden cures have often proved pernicious, and we have reason to suspect a wound too quickly healed.
Not when thou knowest what balsam I applied.
There's scarce a balm for the deep wounds of love besides possession, and I cannot think you have enjoyed Aurelia.
I swear I have not, but I enjoy my reason, my free reason, and who possesses that can never cherish a thought against himself. For such I call whatsoever keeps me from my lawful wife, my dear Placentia, to whose arms I'll fly with all the eager haste of a fond bridegroom. There I shall revel in the virtuous pleasures of a chaste bed. O my friend Armando, my dear Placentia's friend, canst thou forgive? Indeed, I'm penitent, and will offend no more.
My lord, these are the words you spoke before. What greater reason have I now to think you'll keep your promise?
Pride, honour, justice are come to my aid, and love too feeble to withstand 'em all, has left the field to my victorious reason. Pride, with the prospect of my future greatness, allures me to return with speed to Turin, to obey my prince's orders. Honour and justice tell me I am Placentia's, and that Aurelia is Alonzo's bride. To him she gave her virgin vows. Nay, more, to him her dying father did bequeath her. He loves her too, and shall not be deprived. My passion is subdued, and I'm resolved myself to give Aurelia to Alonzo.
If this be true, then you are my friend again. But how came you to learn Aurelia's engagement to Alonzo?
I have it from himself, who an hour since with eager fury sought to venge on me his injured love, and challenged me to fight. I chose with justice to defend my life, and quit Aurelia, rather than to vanquish in such a cause. Alonzo straight embraced me, called me his friend, and vowed I should not go, till I had seen him joined in solemn marriage with bright Aurelia. This I readily granted. Canst thou believe me true?
My lord, I do believe you, and am overjoyed to hear your resolution. By heaven, there's more glory in subduing our wild desires than an embattled foe.
Aside.
Now do I wish his wife had never come.
Armando, thou art my friend, and on that score I must desire you to repair to Turin with all the speed you can to bear these letters to our great prince, and beg he will excuse my stay for 3 days more. And here this letter bear to Placentia. Speak to her the kindest, the softest things thy fancy can suggest. I shall make good thy promise. My dear Placentia, oh, that she were here, panting and warm within these longing arms. 'Tis a long age since I did see her last. But come, my friend, you must this hour set forward.
With all my heart. But 'twill not be amiss, before I go, to fix the victory which conquering virtue in your breast hath gained. And if what you pretend to be real truth, I have a welcome present for Bassino. Madam, come forth.
Enter Placentia. Bassino, aside.
What do I see? My wife? This was a lucky plot. Hypocrisy did ne'er befriend me more. This was not like a friend. Why should Armando disturb her soft tranquillity of mind, and give her ocular proofs of my disloyalty? Oh, my Placentia, my beloved wife!
Embraces her.
Oh, that I should e'er think to wrong my dear!
My lord, waste not a sigh on my account. My joys are infinite, since you are mine, and what is past I easily forget. Nay, let me beg for pardon, for I know I have offended you in coming hither. I should have waited this return of virtue, or, if abandoned, silently have mourned my loss without upbraiding my loved lord. All this I should have done, but mighty love, too powerful for duty to withstand, guided my steps to Venice, in hopes my presence would retrieve your heart.
Bassino, aside.
Gods, that this woman were Aurelia! Thou wonder of thy sex, thou best of women! I blush to think that thou hast heard my folly. Yet since your love cancels your just complaints, you make me doubly blessed, and I'll reward this excellent goodness with eternal fondness. Oh, that thou hadst been here! Not all the beauties that Venice holds could have diverted me, no, not one moment from my dear Placentia. Long absence is the bane of newborn love, but fate shall ne'er have power to part us more.
Oh, my dear lord, your goodness is too great, and I am o'erpaid for all my sorrows past. Armando, say, is not he wondrous kind?
Madam, I told you virtue was struggling in his breast, and that it might o'ercome his vicious love, I thought your presence was requisite. And now, my lord, I hope you will forgive me, since all the endeavours I used before had been in vain. I once designed to let Aurelia know your marriage, but then perhaps she would not have believed me. Let this plead my excuse in sending for Placentia without your knowledge.
Bassino, aside.
I must not let him see I am concerned. I know 'twas friendship all, well-meaning friendship. I only am to blame. But I'll retrieve my credit in your heart, and still deserve the name of friend. And thou, the best of wives, shall ne'er have cause to doubt my constant love.
Oh, my Bassino, this excess of kindness exalts me o'er all mortals. If you're true, there's not a blast within the power of fortune can shock my happiness.
Thou shalt ne'er find me fault, I swear thou shalt not.
Aside.
Oh, that I could engage she would return to Turin with Armando, for if she stays, I never can enjoy my bright Aurelia, and by heaven I will, although 10,000 lives should pay the purchase.
My lord, you seem disturbed.
It troubles me. You can't appear in Venice with a train that may bespeak the rank you hold in Savoy.
Oh, Armando, he is so kind. I wish I ne'er had come. What if I offer to return with you?
Madam, you will do well, for I myself cannot suspect him now.
My lord, let not my presence here disturb you. I doubt your love no more, and, to convince you, I will go back before 'tis known I'm here. Besides, 'tis fit I should prepare all things to welcome you at home.
Bassino, aside.
Blessed opportunity! Fortune, I thank thee. Would my dear then leave me so very soon? Alas, 'twill be an age ere I return to Turin. 3 long days? No, my dear, no, I will not part from thee, at least this night, my love.
Will then Armando stay?
No, my best hopes. He instantly departs with letters to my prince.
Then suffer me to go this very moment. 3 days will soon be o'er, and your return shall make me fully blessed. If I should stay, 'twould look like base distrust, and I can't think Bassino would be false.
Bassino, aside.
Oh, heaven that I were not.
Indeed, my lord, I think you're truly happy. Scarce does any age produce so good a wife.
Oh, that I could reward this wondrous goodness!
My lord, what makes you sigh?
To part from thee, but since 'tis your desire, it shall be so. Armando, to thy charge I here commit the treasure of my soul. Take care of her, and think that on her safety my life depends.
My lord, I hope you do not doubt my care.
Dear friend, I do not. May heaven's blessing still attend my love, my dear Placentia.
Embraces, and goes to lead her off.
As many more guard my Bassino.
Bassino, aside.
A sudden horror seizes all my limbs. I tremble at the thought of this base deed.
Pulls out his handkerchief and drops a letter, which Armando takes up.
Ha! Tears uncalled for bathe my guilty eyes. Gods, either give me virtue to withstand this impious love, or courage to pursue it without remorse, for I'm but half a villain.
Exeunt Bassino, Placentia. Armando opens the letter.
A letter, and to Aurelia. Now curiosity prompts me to know the subject. What's here?
Reads.
I have dispatched Armando to the court of Savoy, and found pretence to stay behind. False, treacherous man! This night I give a masque at my lodgings, which I hope will divert Alonzo till the priest has joined our hands. And while all the company are engaged in mirth, I'll steal to the dear arms of my divine Aurelia. Oh, villain, villain, monstrous villain! Oh, poor Placentia! But I will prevent his policy and break his wicked measures.
Exit Armando. Scene 2. Pizalto's lodgings. Enter Pizalto solus.
Why, what makes this young jade stay so long? Adad, this is to pay beforehand. Ha! Methinks I hear a laughing and giggling in my wife's apartment. I must know whence their mirth proceeds. Ho! Here's Lucy coming. Harkee, you pray. Why did you make me wait so long? Nay, I'm resolved you shan't escape me now.
Goes to the door, and pulls in Ludovico in Lucy's clothes, whose command falls off in a struggle, and discovers his bald head.
Oh, Benedictite, what have we here? A man disguised in my wife's chamber? And I unarmed? Oh, cursed minute! Speak, thou wicked prophet, thou son of iniquity. What camest thou here for? Ha! Thou priest of Baal, to offer sacrifices on the altar of my wife? Oh, my head! My horns weigh it down to the ground already. Wherein there, bring me my sword and pistols.
A box on old petticoats! What a devil shall I say now? Oh, for a sword! That would be of more use to me now than my tongue.
Enter Lady Pizalta.
Oh, thou wicked, fallacious woman!
What ails, my dear Chucky? Why dost thou call for arms, dearie?
To cut down that vile creeper which overruns thy garden of virtue.
Lady Pizalta, aside.
Now impudence assist me. Oh, heavens! What's here? A man in disguise. A thief it must be. Raise the servants. Oh, heaven, we might have had all our throats cut in our beds.
Aside.
Now for Lucy, for I am at a loss to come off.
No, no, I warrant. You know he is more gentle in bed.
Ludovico, aside.
Oh, the devil, what does she mean? Death, hell, and furies! If I come off now, catch me at this port again and hang me.
Enter Lucy.
Oh, are you there? Mistress, how came this man here in your clothes? Ah, gentlewoman.
Lucy, aside.
How confidently she asked the question, poor lady, as if she knew nothing of it. Now must I bring her off? For reasons you must not know, madam.
Ah, thou wicked pair of bellows to blow the fire of iniquity! Why, thou art the very casement through which thy mistress sucks the air of abomination. Tell me, I say, how he came here, and for what, and be sure it be a substantial lie, or 'twill not pass.
Lucy, aside.
All my hopes are her impudence.
Lucy to Pizalto.
Harkee, sir, one word with you. Do you remember our agreement tonight?
Why, what of that?
Then imagine what I designed that gentleman for. I'm honest, sir, that's all.
Pizalto, mimicking her tone.
I'm honest, sir, that's all. Honest with a pox. What? And so you honestly provided a companion for my wife in my absence?
No, sir, I designed him for your companion in my absence. This is the business he was dressed for, therefore no more words. But believe my lady honest, or all shall out.
Oh, the devil! This shan't pass, hussy. Do you think I'll be cuckolded, jilted, bubbled, and let it pass for a Christmas gambol? Edad, give me my bond again, or...
Holds up his cane.
No! Hold here, sir. Women and lawyers ne'er refund a fee, but 'tis your best way to be patient now. I'll not take blows.
Why all this whispering? Why mayn't I know the business?
I am mistaken if you have not known too much business already. But I am right enough served. I had more ground before than I could manage. I had no need of my neighbours.
Right, my lord. Ground that lies fallow will breed weeds in time, but yours is clear yet.
Damn your jests! I shall expect a better account, do you hear?
To Ludovico.
I'll find a servant to see you out of doors.
Exeunt Pizalto and Lady Pizalto.
Well, this was an admirable lift at a pinch. She has brought me off now, and if e'er they catch me at this music again, I'll give 'em leave to make an Italian singer of me. No more intrigues in disguise. If it had not been for the waiting woman now, I might have been hanged for a thief.
What, all or more, signor? No courage left?
Faith, not much. I think I've lost my manhood with my breeches. This transformation may suit with gods, but not with mortals of my humour. Come, prithee, good Mistress Lucy, help me to my proper shape again. For though I have a natural inclination to petticoats, I hate them upon my own back.
A flourish of music within.
Hark! I hear Count Bassino's music. He gives a masque tonight. You are already dressed for masquerade. Won't you stay and take a dance?
Egad, I'd rather dance a jig with thee elsewhere. Faith, thou'rt a pretty girl, and hast a good deal of wit too. But then, pox on it, thou'rt honest, thou sayest. Thou cannot swallow a pill, except 'tis gilded over with matrimony.
And that turned your stomach, I warrant.
Why, aye. Faith, my stomach is damned squeamish in these matters. Yet, egad, if I could find one with half as much money as thou hast wit and beauty, I'd marry and live honest.
That is, you'd marry her money.
One with the other, child. There's no living upon love, thou knowest. Though, faith, I could live well enough, too.
Well, I suppose I help you to a lady with a round sum. You'd keep your word and marry her?
I'm a gentleman, I scorn to break my word.
Well, sir, come to the masque, and I'll engage you a mistress, if you are not over-curious.
With all my heart. I'm now resolved to leave this wenching trade, for no man's safe upon a hackneyed jade. Valley of danger makes the pleasure pain. A virtuous wife will always be same.
The end of the fourth act. Act 5 of The Perjur'd Husband, or The Adventures of Venus, by Susanna CENTLIVRE. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 5, Scene 1. A mask in Bassino's lodgings. Bassino, Alonzo, Armando, in a disguise. Placentia in a man's clothes. Signor Pizalto, Lady Pizalta, Lucy, and co. An entry of 3 men and 3 women of several nations.
I can't imagine where I dropped my letter. Pray heaven it be where none can ever find it. Gods, let me once enjoy her, then call on me your store of plagues, and I will meet 'em all.
Enter Ludovico, singing.
Mistress Lucy, I'm come, thou seest. I expect thou shalt be as good as thy word, child. Is the lady here?
The lady is forthcoming, if you are still in the same mind.
My lover here. Hark ye, Lucy.
By and by, madame. I am catering for myself now. Well, sir, will 2,000 pistoles do?
Ludovico, aside.
I must humour her. Aye, child.
Why then, I take you at your word, sir, and can produce the aforesaid sum?
To Pizalto.
With a little of your assistance, my lord.
Ludovico, aside.
A pretty wife I'm like to have. Catch me there if you can.
Huh? How was that?
How? Mistress Lucy, worth 2,000 pistoles?
Aye, and I have a very good paymaster for 1/2 of it too.
To Pizalto.
Do you know this hand, my lord?
Shews the bond. Pizalto, aside.
Confound your jilting sneer.
What, 1,000 pistoles a dish, my lord? I hope you don't change often.
Hussy, I'll be revenged. 'Tis all false. 'Tis counterfeit.
But had it been current coin, if I had suffered you to put your stamp upon it, in my bedchamber, my lord?
How, mistress? Have you tricked my husband out of 1,000 pistoles, and never told me of it?
Nay, madam, don't frown. Remember you have tricked him out of something too, which I never told him of. Don't urge me to more discoveries.
Ludovico, aside.
So, here's trick upon trick. But faith, you shall never trick me out of my liberty. I'm not so fond of a wife to marry a chambermaid, though with 10 times as much money. And so, sweet Mistress Abigail, your humble servant.
Exit Ludovico. Lady Pizalto, aside.
The jade has me upon the hip. I must be silent. She who has her husband's bed abused can never expect she should be better used.
Exit.
Ha! What? My lover gone? With all my heart. Better now than after, for whilst I have my fortune in my own hands, I must have no need to sue for a separate maintenance, and get nothing for it neither.
Armando to Placentia.
Now, madam, go. May heaven be propitious to your designs. I'll stay and watch Bassino, and when he goes, we'll follow with Alonzo.
Oh, my sick fancy frames 1,000 forms which tell me that our meeting will prove fatal and warn me not to go. What shall I do? Must I bear calmly my Bassino's loss? Why do I tremble thus? Sure it can't be the fear of death. No, For if I go not, I must lose him, and that's more than death to me. And if I go, I can but fall, and life without him is the greater woe. Therefore I'll on. I'll use the softest words that tongue can frame to soothe her into pity and dissuade her from this impious marriage. If I succeed, I am completely happy. If not, I'd rather die than live with hate. But first, cursed rival, thou shalt share my fate.
Exit Placentia. A flourish of music.
'Tis now the time. But whither do I go? Shall I a maid, a wife, a friend betray? No matter. All arguments are vain where love bears sway.
Exit Bassino. A song.
When the winds rage and the seas grow high, they bid mankind beware. But when they smooth and calm the sky, 'tis then they would ensnare. So the bright Taeos kindness shows, by frowning on her lovers, for ruin only from her flows, when she her charms discovers.
Come now, gentlemen and ladies, be pleased to walk into the next room, and take a small collation. But where's my Lord Bassino? Come, gentlemen, he's gone before us.
Armando, aside.
Where we will quickly follow. Alonzo, a word with you.
Exit Omnes. Scene 2. A chamber in Aurelia's house. 2 armchairs. Aurelia sola.
I wonder much at my Bassino's stay. O love, how swiftly fly thy hours away when we are blessed! How tedious are thy minutes when cruel absence parts two longing lovers!
Enter Florella.
Is my Bassino come? Speak!
No, madam. A young stranger desires to speak with you. He says you are not acquainted with his name, but will soon with his business, which is something of great import, that can be told to none but yourself.
Aurelia, aside.
A stranger business with me. I know of none I have with strangers. Heaven, what's this? I feel a sudden throbbing in my heart, as if 'twas conscious of some fatal news. Womanish fears. Admit him.
Exit Florella.
It must be one of Bassino's friends, whom he entrusts to be a witness of our marriage vows.
Enter Placentia, in man's clothes.
Madam, I was informed that Count Bassino was to be here, and having things to impart that much concern him, I made bold to come.
Sir, I expect him straight. If you're his friend, I will account you mine. Be pleased to sit.
Both sit.
My brother, madam, is extremely happy in being favored by so fair a lady.
Your brother, sir? Is then my lord your brother?
Madam, he is.
Then I may call you brother too, for all the solemn vows of love have passed, 'twixt him and me, and blissful Hymen waits with lighted torch to tie the sacred knot, which shall be done this hour.
This hour, say you? Oh, madam, have a care. You tread enchanted ground, and ere you know what path you take, you're hurried to destruction.
Where lies the danger?
Oh, 'tis a fatal tale, yet you must hear it. Therefore summon your courage to your aid, for you will need it all, whilst I relate the fatal story.
Ah, how I tremble! Say, is he dead? Has any murderous villain killed my Bassino?
No, he is well in health, but his distempered mind is of a wild and feverish disposition, longing to taste what tasted will undo him.
Your speech is all a riddle. Pray speak plainer. But yet, ever you proceed, if Count Bassino lives, I care not what must follow, since he's mine.
No, he's not yours, nor ever must.
'Tis false. There's not a power on earth can part us. Perhaps you think my blood too base to mix with yours, but, sir, your brother loves me, and in love all ranks are equal.
No, I wish that were all. But there's a greater obstacle. He is married. Oh, gods, unfortunately married.
Married?
Yes, married. To my sister. To my unfortunate abandoned sister. Oh, do not you conspire to undo her quite. It is enough she's false Bassino's wife.
Gods! Married! And is it possible? O faithless men! O truth! O justice! Whither are you fled? Now all my fears and horrors are explained.
I'm glad I reached this place in time to hinder those ills that must have waited on your marriage. Now it is in your power both to be happy and, in some measure, make my sister so.
Both rise.
A paradox in nature. Bid Aurelia be happy when you rob her of heaven. Her dear Bassino, indeed your sister may be counted happy if she's his wife. Ah, wife, by heaven, 'tis false. No, no, he has no other wife but me. He is not married. You belie him basely. He cannot be so treacherous.
Madam, I swear whate'er I said is truth. Do but defer this marriage for a day, and if I don't produce convincing proofs, may all the plagues a woman can invent fall on my perjured head.
Defer our marriage? No, by heaven I will not. I can't suspect him. Neither do I think you durst maintain this story to his face.
Madam, I dare. Nay, which is more, I'll die or vindicate my injured sister's honor.
Bold arrogance! Oh, that he were but here to answer the affront. Perhaps he may have wronged your family, debauched your sister, for which you would force him to marry her. But I must tell thee, boy, he's mine already, nor would he forsake me to hold command over all the universe.
Oh, heaven, must I bear this?
Nay, expect more. If he should find you here, 'tis not your being brother to his mistress that will secure you from his just revenge.
Revenge? Nay, then away with all disguise, pity be gone, and in its room fell rage take place, that I may dash that haughty insolence that dares to treat me thus. No, madam, I am his wife, his lawful, wedded wife. With borrowed shape I came to try your virtue, which I have found so light that the least puff of wanton love will blast it, else my visit had met a better welcome.
Draws.
Here, with sword in hand, I'll wait his coming, and as he enters, pierce thy haughty breast. I know he loves thee, and therefore 'tis brave revenge to let him see thy dying pangs. Thy parting sighs will rack him worse than hell.
His wife! Oh, insolence! In vain you waste your breath. It moves me not. So much I love him, so much I'm beloved, that should an angel from yon heaven descend to tell me he's married, I'd not credit him. Kill me if you dare. He will revenge my death. That pleasing thought gives courage to my soul. To live without him would be death indeed. No, he'll never leave me for a common thing, for such I'm sure thou art.
Common? Proud wretch, by heaven that word gives wings! To my revenge, vile creature, die!
Stabs her.
Help! Murder! Murder!
Enter Bassino.
Ha! That to thy heart!
Kills Placentia.
Wert thou a demigod, and durst attempt this shrine, thus shouldst thou fall.
Placentia, falling.
Oh, Bassanio! Oh!
Oh, hold, my lord. What has your rashness done? I only should have died. I'll not upbraid your treachery. No, 'tis the hand of heaven that guides the stroke that takes my guilty life, for being faithless to Alonzo.
Talk not of death, my fair, my dear Aurelia. That very sound does harrow up my soul. But who art thou, whose sacrilegious hand durst to profane the temple of my love?
I am your wife, your loving wife, Placentia. Oh, pardon this rash deed. Blame jealous love, and grace me with a sigh, that I may die contented.
My wife, and killed by me? Under what load of miseries I stand! Oh, horror, horror, infinity of guilt! Hurl now your vengeful bolts, almighty powers, on my devoted head. Oh, I have wronged you both, deceived you basely. Thus prostrate on the ground, let me beg pardon.
Throws himself on the ground.
I do not ask it with design to live.
Oh, dear Bassino, live, and try to save her, for she's innocent. We only are in fault. I urged my wretched fate with impious language, for which I beg forgiveness. Generous lady, let not my soul depart with guilt oppressed.
As I forgive you, so may heaven me.
Oh, Placentia! Oh, my wife!
One more thing, and I'm happy. Were but Alonzo here, that I might ask forgiveness for my falsehood. But alas, my spirits faint within my frozen veins, and everything seems double to my sight. Oh, how I dread the uncertain future state.
Unhappy maid! Oh, my once dear Aurelia! Cursed, cursed Bassino! Oh, my wife! How dare I stand in the view of both these injured women? Oh, heaven! Why name I heaven? Heaven will not hear a wretch like me. No, even hell wants torment proportioned to my guilt. Oh, my Placentia! Oh!
Oh, my dear lord, I cannot see you thus. Live, live, my lord, be happy when I'm dead. Nay, for your sake, I with Aurelia too may live to make you happy.
Oh, hold! Heap not more curses on me by your kindness. I wish that she might live, but not for me, only to clear me from her guilty blood. Oh, Placentia!
Rise, my lord, rise. Do not indulge your woe, your sighs atone for all, and make e'en death a pleasure. I see him coming. He will soon be here.
No, I will never rise, ne'er see the day. The sun would blush to shine on such an impious wretch. Here let me lie, and tear with these cursed hands.
Tears the ground in a distracted manner.
A passage through the earth, and hide my face forever.
Alonzo, within.
Where is the civilian? Where is the Bassino?
'Tis Alonzo's voice. Oh, fly, my lord, fly from his just revenge.
Enter Alonzo hastily.
Fly? Where shall I fly from justice? No, heaven is kind in sending him to help my journey forward.
Where's the Bassino?
Bassino, rising.
Here, sir, I stand.
Then there stands a villain. Ah, what do I see? Aurelia murdered. Oh, treacherous maid, thy love has cost thee dear. Think on thy broken vows, and call to heaven for mercy. Thy death I will revenge, because I loved thee once.
Oh, Alonzo, pardon me.
Alonzo, to Bassino.
Now, villain, what a story, what a pretense canst thou invent to avoid my just revenge? Oh, that I had never listened to thy tongue, thy base perfidious tongue, then all these murders had been prevented, and thou cursed in hell. thou monstrous fiend.
You talk too much. Let's see what you can do. Thus I return your villain.
Take thy reward.
They fight. Bassino falls. Enter Armando.
Hold, hold! Oh, gods, I'm come too late. What has my fatal friendship done? Ah, Placentia too. Cursed letter.
My friend Armando, oh, I blush to see thee, but let me have your pardon. Now I need it.
Oh, first pardon me, for I have been the cause of all this mischief. Whilst my officious friendship strives to save you, I bring you all to this unhappy end. Say, can you pardon me?
I do, and, oh, my friend, had virtue been my guide, as it was thine, I still were truly happy.
Where am I? Why do I hover thus, twixt rest and misery? O good Alonzo, say you pardon me, and let me die in peace. Else, full of horror, my guilty soul must wander in the shades of gloomy night, and never, never rest.
Thou hast my pardon, and with it is a promise, never to love again.
Oh, you're too kind, and I want breath to thank you. Farewell.
Dies.
O Placentia,
Embraces her.
thus in thy arms my thread of life shall break.
My lord, my husband, oh, come nearer yet, that I may take a parting kiss to smooth my passage to the realms of endless night.
Kissing him.
So, now, I die, much happier than I lived. Farewell.
Dies.
Farewell, fair excellence, thou best of wives, but I shall quickly follow. Yet before I go, I beg, Alonzo, let my death atone for all the injuries my life has done you. I'll spare my memory when I'm no more.
By heaven, I see such virtue struggling in thy breast, as makes me wish I could prevent the flight of thy departing soul.
No, no, I would not live hadst thou not come. My hand had set me free, but now I fell more nobly and less guilty. My friend, my dear Armando, haste to inform my prince, Bassino rests. But hide, if possible, my shame, and let one grave hold both this wretched corpse and mine, oh my Placentia.
Dies.
Unhappy pair, but far more wretched me, for I must live, and live without Aurelia, though I am convinced she loved me not. I can't banish her image from my love-sick mind. Oh, that I ne'er had seen the charming fair.
The gods are just in all their punishments, and by this single act we plainly see that vengeance always treads on perjury. And though sometimes no bolts be at us hurled, whilst we enjoy the pleasures of this world, yet a day awaits, a day of general doom, when guilty souls must to an audit come. Then, that we may not tremble, blush, or fear, let our desires be just, our lives unsullied here.
Exeunt omnes. The end of Act 5. End of the Perjur'd Husband, or The Adventures of Venus, by Susanna CENTLIVRE.